Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we today want to do an event, namely the Final Fantasy XVI collaboration event, which begins with this neophyte adventurer. Forgive me my boldness, but you are Serenia Sherazar, are you not? Yes, I am. Then my search is at an end. A begoggled gentleman tasked me to find you, see, in hopes of entreating your aid with some manner he deigned not to share with me. Pray remain here, and I shall fetch him at once. Greetings, champion. 'Tis I who employed the young adventurer to facilitate this impromptu audience. As for the why, I have a request that you, and you alone, can fulfill. Pray listen well, for my tale begins with a most unsettling dream. In it did I behold the evening sky, boundless and shimmering. As I drank deep of its beauty, I spied two stars sailing across the inky expanse. One of purest white, the other blushing scarlet. Their courses set such they might pass without collision. Sharply and suddenly the scarlet star shifted its trajectory. High above a burning landscape did its path intersect with that of a white star, their conjunction marked by a brilliant explosion of light. Even in slumber, I was awestruck by the spectacle. A lovely tale, but I fail to see what it has to do with me. I do not wish to make any claims of certainty, and yet... Whatever greater meaning this vision might hold, I am convinced that the blazing white star represents the warrior of light. In other words, you. And should these portents indeed foretell future events, you are thus fated to encounter the Scarlet Star, whomsoever they may be. I therefore humbly request that you accompany me to the burning land for my dream, that I might witness the vision's denouement. I will compensate you for the trouble, of course. The question is, which territory in Eorzea might be considered burning, metaphorically or otherwise? A place rich in corrupted crystals? They can look quite fiery. These crystals have to be immense in size, akin to those which comprise the burning wall. Aye, that sight well resembles a sweeping scene from my dream. The first mystery solved. We shall leave for Eastern Fanalan and the infamous burning wall at once. The Burning Wall. An apt name indeed. 'Tis said that these crystalline structures were formed when falling shards of Dalamud pierced the land's ethereal current. Some see them as a symbol of rebirth, a manifestation of renewed life. But that is neither here nor there. Let's have a look around, shall we? Spyglass at the ready. It's a very area. Strange man. There's someone lying down there. Let's go. Where am I? What's going on? A dream led you to me? I understand how absurd it may sound. We ourselves were unsure of what awaited us here. As for who we are, I'm content to be known as the Minstrel. This stalwart hero is Serenia Shadowstar. Might you have a pleasure of your name? Clive, The last thing I remember was the ruins. My head, how did I come to be in this place? It would seem you were knocked senseless. Confusion is to be expected. For safety's sake, I suggest we make for town and have a Fontistery physician look you over. I shall see our patient receives proper treatment. Would you mind waiting for us at Scholar's Walk? Now perhaps I should mention I don't know Final Fantasy 16 yet, because I don't have a console and it's not available for PC. Well, I don't have a recent console. None it would run on. Our foundling is being cared for as we speak, but I'm told he should be released soon. Hopefully it was not that a bite of food and a little bed rest couldn't cure. Small talk. It was kind of you to wait, thank you. What of your condition? Much improved. The physician also noted no signs of injury or illness. Yet my memories remain hazy. How did I end up there? Whatever I was doing, it was important, I'm sure of it. I must return as soon as possible. I see. We cannot leave him in this state. We must help him to restore his memories and find his way home. What of the city, Clive? Do any parts of Ul'dah strike you as familiar? No. Maybe I've simply forgotten, but I recognize nothing. Not Ul'dah, then. Still, I should like to think that the sights and sounds of a well-known locale will hasten your recovery. The Burning Wall, the place where we found you, is situated midway betwixt Ul'dah and Gridania. Perhaps a trip to the 12th Foot is in order? Gridania, you say? The name rings no bells, but I have no better suggestions. And you would take me there? I would. Meanwhile, I should make the rounds of the neighboring settlements and ask if any have heard of you. Let us rendezvous in Gridania anon. The entire situation has been knocked off balance, I'm afraid. Savannah, was it? I appreciate you coming to my rescue. Still, you must have your own business to attend to. You can set out whenever you're ready. Are we ready? Then let's head out. This Gridania the minstrel mentioned, is it far? Will we need mounts? You can just go by airship. It doesn't take long. By airship? You have those? Not what I mean to doubt you, friend. If you say we're boarding an airship, then that's what we'll do. So Anya, if I may ask a foolish question. Do these airships of yours actually fly? They do? A foolish question indeed, then. Your expression tells me as much. Is there no airship travel where you're from? So it would seem. It's odd. I know that the weapon on my back is called a sword. I understand what it's for and how to wield it. Foggy as my memories may be, my general knowledge seems intact. Yet hearing you speak of functional airships, I felt confusion, disbelief, for something that you clearly think of as commonplace. I can make no sense of it. Where was I before now? But dwelling on this is pointless. Forward is the only way. To feel that bracing wind, the deck shuddering beneath your feet as you rise into the sky. My memory may be faulty, but that was an experience I'm sure I'd not soon forget. So, this is Gridania. It seems very unlike the city we just left. Where to begin? I think it best if I follow your lead. Clive. Clive is now accompanying us. This tavern, it reminds me of somewhere I've been before. No, it's no use. I can feel the memory, but it's like grasping at smoke. Maybe if you were to show me somewhere else? A chocobo. Now that's something I recognize. Yet it's more than that. I had my own chocobo once, I'm sure of it. But as for the when or the where? An impressive crystal. Not a mother crystal, surely. No, not nearly large enough. When I try to remember, the fog in my head almost seems to grow thicker. This city certainly has a different feel to Ulda. Not only the architecture, but the people as well. This is a truly beautiful place. You've taken a liking to Gridania, then? I do like what I've seen of it. Seems a peaceful life here among the trees, only... I just can't shake the strangest feeling. As if it's too peaceful, and that doesn't sit right.
Patrol reporting, Commander. All is quiet with the Ixal, no sightings of Garuda.
For which we are profoundly grateful. At ease, soldier. Did he say Garuda? You there. This Garuda you speak of. Sir, are you alright? Savannah, do you know this gentleman? Memory loss, you say? I'm sorry to hear that, though it seems Garuda's name has lit a spark of some sort. I was in a battle with Garuda. I fought her, I'm sure of it. Please, you must tell me more. Anything that might help me remember my past. Of course, Gridania owes a debt of gratitude to any who stood against that destructive fiend. However, there's one more suited to the task than I. Our elder Seetsia is well versed not only in primal law, but also in the treatment of bodily afflictions. She is surely your best hope for recovery. I will send word ahead to Stillglade Fane. Stand ready to escort our guests to an audience. Understood, Commander. Pray find me at Noviga's altar in Old Gridania. I will see that you are granted entry to the Lotus Stand. The way back to what I've lost begins with Garuda. Of that I feel certain. The Lotus Stand lies just ahead. If you will follow me, please. Greetings, honored guests. Commander Hurlier has apprised me of your friend's condition. Is this he? A pleasure to meet you. I am Kanisena, Elder Seetsia of Gridania. I thank you for your gracious welcome. I'm Clive, Though beyond that, I fear my introduction may be lacking. Please concern yourself not with proprieties. 'Tis your memory loss we're here to address. I'm told Garuda's name awakens some previous recollection? Yes, in the instant I heard it, a hazy vision of battle rose unbidden. I think perhaps if I could hear more of Garuda... A wish easily granted. Garuda is the deity revered by the Ixal, a people who once dwelt here in the Twelfth Wood. She appears as a winged entity, half bird, half woman, who commands the wind itself. Most frightening, however, is her capricious temper, as unpredictable as a howling storm. I should add that Serenia has fought against Garuda in her primal incarnation. A winged woman of volatile temperament, with power over wind. A fitting description of the opponent I remember. But a deity? No. The will behind that monstrous visage was distinctly mortal. I suspect Clive's Garuda and Eorzea's primal are not one and the same. Apparently he can just move in wherever he wants, including a private audience of a city-state leader. Mainly as Clive himself is not of our world. Explain yourself, minstrel. I went back to where we discovered Clive and questioned folk in all the nearby settlements. Not one person recognized his description. Such a distinctive tattoo escaping notice of every local rumormonger for months around. Improbable, to say the least. That led me consider another possibility. One consistent with past accounts I have heard of visitors from other worlds somehow stumbling through reality's curtain and finding their way to our star. My brand, it's the mark of a bearer. Does it pain you to remember? I feel the memories trying to surface, but when I strain to recall, a piercing ringing fills my ears. Garuda, bearer, Ifrit. Another primal's name. It would seem the pain has a less than tangible source. Long have I studied the healing arts, yet I sense no shadow of illness in your body. Your suffering stems not from injury or sickness. Victims of terrible events have been known to suppress their own memories out of instinct. One's subconsciousness denies attempts to confront the awful truth, the mind creating a shield of pain to protect the heart. The barriers of my own making? How then am I to overcome it? With our aid, of course. Fate has brought us together, and together we shall triumph over this adversity. So you think me from another world? My memories of said world are not like to return unless I acknowledge some terrible truth. A truth my mind refuses to remember. 'Tis a confounding dilemma, I agree, and I've given thought to a solution. I believe that the shackles which bind your mind may yet be struck off in the heat of battle. A drastic measure, perhaps, especially when not at your best. Which is why I turn to you, Serenia. You're the twin to Clive's Wandering Star. Your involvement is no accident. The path I see is thick with thorns, but if you have a will to walk it, then gird yourself for war and await me at Apakalu Falls. Okay, Clive. The path Infernal. The minstrel has a plan, it seems, but he shares little beyond confusing metaphor. Still, I'm willing to indulge him if it means making progress. We had to meet him at Apakalu Falls, right? And where is that to be found? Bit further to the north. Good, not far then. Then let's get on with it. This place. Why here? Because this waterfall is where the legendary Archon Louisrock gathered a band of adventurers in the time of the 7th Umbral Calamity. Their purpose? To extinguish the infernal Ifrit. Ifrit? I know something is there, why can't I remember? Clive recalled several words in the Elder Seedseer's presence, words which brought him pain. While the significance of bearer eludes me, you and I are more than familiar with Ifrit. Considering your reaction to the mere mention of a name, 'tis likely that the primal, or its equivalent in your world, is deeply connected to your condition. Thus I've resolved to weave my lyrical magics and bring you face to face with the Ifrit of our world. Here, the Archon Louisrock paved an ethereal path to the primal's lair, will my words be given substance, and within the vision which takes form will you do battle with a phantom of our mind's creation. Imaginary though this confrontation may be, I fear your suffering will be all too real. Yet you must persevere, for your hidden truth will not be unearthed without hardship. Take heart, Scarlet Star, and call upon the strength of your shining twin. Your past awaits. Where's he sent us? You stand in the bowl of embers, the site where the Amaljas summoned their frightened deity, and the stage upon which the warrior of light became a slayer of gods. 'Tis but convincing illusion, the body of recounted tale given breath by a fanciful verse. Come forth, Lord of Infernal. An accurate facsimile, but not quite the Ifrit you know. No, not quite the same. Uh, uh. Ready when you are. Together then. Ifrit. That's the thing which killed Joshua. Yes, I've been on its trail seeking vengeance for my brother. This fiend must pay. Fight with me, Serenia. During this battle, you will gain access to the special duty actions as follows. Use Rising Flames to charge the foe and inflict high damage. With the proper timing, you can use Dodge to avoid taking damage, even if you are within the area of an enemy's attack. Certain enemy attacks will be preceded by a countdown icon. When the countdown processes to the Dodge icon, quickly use the Dodge action. After executing a successful dodge, the dodge action will change to Precision Strike, which provides an opportunity to inflict additional damage. With me, Serenia. flames go hotter. Watch yourself. Move. Serenia, buy me some time. Defend, Clive. This won't hold me. My thanks. Serenia! Thanks, Clive. Still in a fight? These blades are feeding him power, but not if we break them. There are too many. We cannot rely on steel alone. Just a few more. On your guard, he means to unleash hell. Literally. Still with me? Let's finish this. I blamed another to spare myself the guilt. I feared that by accepting it, I would lose what little was left of me. But I accept the truth of it now. You are not Ifrit. I am. In the battle against your own mind, it would seem you have emerged a victor. Intriguing. And we're back. The illusion is unraveled, yet you've brought a friend back with you. This is Torgal, a wolf pup raised in the duchy. There's no more loyal ally in battle, and no keener guide when the road ahead is uncertain. Ah, that would explain the aberration in the lingering ether. Torgal is here to lead you back to your own world. Clive has embraced his harrowing past, and in doing so reclaimed the memories he's lost. Though not a conscious act, he has manifested his readiness to return home in the form of a trusted companion. Even so, it was difficult to accept what I'd done. My younger brother, Joshua, was a kind and gifted soul. The inheritor of a phoenix's flames, he was destined to become Archduke, as our father had before him. But Joshua was murdered, his bright future cut short. From that day onward, I lived for one purpose only. A dominant of fire had slain my brother, and I would have my revenge. I spent years tracking the killer, until one day, I came to understand it had been me all along. I was young and distraught when I first summoned Ifrit. I hadn't known such power lurked within me, or that it could even exist at all. The transformation was instinctive, uncontrolled, and it was by my hand that Joshua died. I can but imagine the anguish this caused you. There was anguish, yes, and a guilt I will never escape, but I cannot let it stop me. I was born the vessel for Ifrit's power, and I need to know why. It was in search of answers that I went to Phoenix Gate and delved into the ruins below. There I found the courage to face my past and accept the truth. And then everything faded to black. Huh. Your tale suggests that something in the ruins, some mysterious force, was responsible for your inadvertent journey. And if you arrived in Eorzea from a place sacred to the Phoenix and its flames, then it stands to reason. Yes, what are you thinking? I'm thinking that to see your home, we must return to the beginning. A road takes us back to the burning wall. Once there, your furry comrade will lead us exactly where we need to go. Such an incredible sight. I was in no state to appreciate these crystals the first time. We've come this far. Now Torgal will be our guide. Such was the purpose of his creation, after all. Ready, Torgal? Take me home. Wolf. Once you choose to depart, Clive and the Wandering Minstrel will accompany you. Torgal will then begin leading you onward. Follow him. I sense the end to this extraordinary tale is at hand. Is this it, boy? The tale ends where it began. Where you first found me. Indeed. I was baffled as to why this of all places would serve as a junction between our two worlds, but now I think I understand. You do? Some years ago, Eorzea was visited by a cataclysmic disaster known as the Seventh Umbral Calamity. Yet even as fire and ruin threatened all we held dear, the world underwent a mystical renewal. It was as if a star was reborn. One theory attributes the miracle to a benevolent entity, claiming that the undying phoenix flared into being to save us in our hour of direst need. The phoenix? The burning wall itself is a scar left by those events, its crystal ridges having erupted from the earth overnight. Some believe these monoliths of solidified flame to be proof of a phoenix's deliverance. The bond with your brother, the phoenix of your world, may have been the connection which brought you to this sacred land and ours. Drawn to the flame. Time to go. It seems our time together is at an end. Thank you both for all you've done. Press on, friend, no matter how daunting the hardship or bitter the truth. Always, no matter what fate awaits at journey's end. Come, Torgal. We have answers to seek and the valid state awaits. Alles there? And then he was gone. I feel the stirring of a ballad. But nay, it would be hubris to imagine I could capture Clive's story from so fleeting an excerpt. That honor belongs to someone else, someone privileged to see his tale to its conclusion. Sadly, the power to peer into other worlds was not granted me by this day's miracles. I wonder, however, if you might manage it, Serenia. And that's why Wandering Minstrel is kind of a Yoshi P self-insert, or at least from his team, an insert of him. This is basically saying, hey, play my other game. Our little adventure is over. Set in motion as it was by a dream most cryptic, I must thank you for indulging my sudden and strange request. As for your promised reward, I hope this is sufficient. Torgal proved such a trustworthy guide that I thought to bind his likeness to a summoning whistle. May his loyal spirit serve you well on your travels. Until we meet again. And we get a set with Clive's outfit, the Torgal mount, and the Torgal pup minion. And you can now exchange MGP for special items by speaking with a gold saucer attendant at the gold saucer. Found in flame. Good. But I end this episode here. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Ace, and don't get lost.